so much strength and is able to fly high, but the eagle's eyes are on the ground, looking for food. We are like that. So much power, so much ability, so much talent. Their attention is on petty little things. This is the hallmark of an Indian. Pettiness. Second, negativity. How much we think ill of people. When two people get together, you sit down and criticize, Prime Minister is bad, President is bad, Chief Minister is bad, everybody is bad. I am the only angel around. Negativity. You know, there was a guy who told his son, black man in America, he said, yes, I agree, the white man has done a lot of injustice to the blacks, but don't ever think ill of him, because it may or may not hurt him. It sure as hell will hurt you. Remember that. Don't think ill of people. It gives you a temporary kick. It feels good to think ill, to talk ill, to say, I wish I could kill him. That doesn't help it. Third, unbridled desire, greed. I want, and this greed is devouring India today. You go to the smallest of places, there is this mall culture. You know what the spelling of mall is? What is it? You got it all wrong. Spelling of mall is M-A-U-L. It mauls you. Don't get into this business of desire. And the fourth is ego. That's a killer. You say, you know who I am? Who are you? You're a human being. You know, there was a Roman emperor, great achiever. And every time he went out into the streets, all the people would say, Hail Emperor, Hail Emperor. And you know, he had fans all over the place. Everybody adored him, worshipped him. He had hired a man full time to stand behind him, and his only job was to whisper into his ears, remember, you're just a human being. The higher you go, the greater the opportunity to fall. Therefore, this anchor you must always have. Don't ever forget that you're a human being. People before you, after you will say you're great, that is all lip service. People's memories are very short. People's loyalties are non-existent. They're all like politicians, you know, go whichever way it's convenient. So don't depend on that. One moment people will say you're great, like what happened to Indira Gandhi after 71 war, they called her a goddess, Durga, this, that and the other. Few years, next elections, she lost her deposit. So this is it. Don't get carried on a wave of ego. So how do you deal with this? Let's take a look at our motivation. What motivates you to work? Every morning when you wake up, what is it that drives you to activity? Most of us are driven by what is known as deficiency motivation. If you were to be stopped on the road and asked, what are you running for? What do you want? What is it that is driving you to work? You say, one person says, I have only a one-bedroom flat. I want 2 bedrooms. You ask another person, he says, how can I be happy when I'm single? I want to get married, double. He doesn't understand, his problem's also double. Third person, I have only a small car. How can I be happy with a small car? The other day a lady told me, I've been invited to a wedding and everybody's coming in a Mercedes and BMW and Toyota Camry and I have a Maruti. How can I go to the wedding? I said, Arre? What do you mean, how can I go to a wedding? They've invited you, not your car. You have to park your car outside and go to the wedding. And nobody bothers. First of all, nobody bothers whether you've come or not. Who cares about your car? Deficiency motivation. Constantly, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this. As a result, your mind is constantly unhappy. And an unhappy mind cannot achieve anything. Instead, what Vedanta says is shift your motivation to abundancy. Even as you are, I don't know, in most of you, I don't know, but I can say with conviction that every one of us is a multi-millionaire many times over. You're looking at me with disbelief. But that's because you're not looking at the things you have. I would strongly recommend, first thing in the morning tomorrow, actually sit down with a piece of paper and write down all the things that you have and try putting a value to it. Suppose you say, I've had a wonderful upbringing, fabulous parents, grandparents, larger family, happy upbringing. Just because it came free doesn't mean it has no value. You have 2 eyes to see, with or without glasses. Glasses you paid for, eyes you haven't paid for. Put a value to that. You have lungs that every time you take in a breath have the wonderful capacity to exchange gases. They take in life-giving oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Have you ever put a value to that? Look at a hospital ICU. If you're put on oxygen, how much does it cost? Multiply that by your age and find out how much. When you look at all the things that you have, you are so grateful, you're so happy for what you have that you don't even bother about 1 or 2 things that you don't have.